Whoa, I have things to say. Firstly, did you like that new intro? Yes, when you can't garden, you get stuff done. Okay, I've got stuff to say. But first of all, 4K. You guys are awesome. Thank you to all my subscribers, because that's how you get to the numbers, by subscribers. And thank you to those that are already subscribed and have been sharing my channel, and you pumped me up to that 4K. Thank you so much for that. I really appreciate it. It's really come at a really destitute time in my life. So that's a boost I need for sure. Another huge thing that's happened here, something I haven't even mentioned, because I don't want it to sound like a pity party, all things are going wrong here, but my cat Kit, that's the cute little fluffy grey and white one that you see, he'd actually disappeared for nearly a month. Yes, he'd been away for about 2 weeks before, so I kept saying to Mike, no, he'll come back, and he's come back. Things are on the up and up, are they not? They are indeed. So it's all reminders. Those who haven't been able to help me financially, that's fine. Share. That's all I can say. Share my channel, which should hopefully increase my revenue, which will be my department to try and give content so I can earn some money that way, or just share particularly my sad video. If you share that, and just by passing it on, we should find people that can help. And this will be a wonderful time, first of all, to say thank you to those that have donated via PayPal. I so appreciate that. It really is a help. Those that say it's not much, it is. Thank you so much for that. Those who are working hard behind the scenes, particularly Blue from Blue Self-Reliance. She's doing an amazing job, and she just asked me for something. My computer's a bit up the spout at the moment. A couple of you have commented. I can't comment under any shorts at the moment. You know where it says comment, that bit's not there. So it's not your channels, it's me, but I can't comment under shorts, that's gone. And when I'm typing under a video, like to comment under your video, I type and it types, but I don't see anything type. And then literally, I'm not joking, I wait about a minute and then suddenly it types itself. So I sort of sit there for a minute. I'm like, oh my goodness. So I am having trouble with that. Mike's going to go through my laptop. Won't do it today because he'll be late by the time I finish. So hopefully he'll find time to go through, clean it all out and whatever else. Today I also had to go and re-log into all my sites. I think something's got in my computer. I had to go and re-log into all my channels. Yeah, let's just pop over to the comments, and then I want to share something awesome with you. So we have people. Steve and Tina Jewell were first off the mark yet again. They are really great supporters of my lives, particularly. So hello to Steve and Tina Jewell. They were there, goodness knows when they put that first comment, because this was before my live. So I put, it's Steve and Tina, hey you. Tony Ride, you made it live. I stopped by to wish you congratulations on 4K subscribers. You are one of those. Thank you very much. You're doing great. Thank you so much. Yeah, as you hear, I'm having trouble commenting. I am watching videos. There's no trouble watching videos apart from an ad things going on. It keeps saying I've subscribed to YouTube ads or whatever. And I can't, because then they will come up during my lives if I'm sharing my screen, and then I'll get done for copyright if music plays during an ad. So there. Sharon Jackson's there. Hello, congrats on 4K. Thank you so much. Stephen Tina, congrats. Stephen Tina, good morning again, and saying hello. Before I go any further, I want to share, if I can find it, it should be down the bottom so I could find it easily. I need to share this with you all. and you are awesome. No matter what you do for me, if you just watch and hit the thumbs up or put a little comment, it really has helped. I'm sure you can see a big difference with me since my last video. So yeah, I've been sitting back and taking my own advice. I'm always giving comments and quotes, and I've taken that back myself a little bit, and it's just awesome. When I got the first PayPal donations, and I thought, how awesome is this? There's people like you guys watching now that you don't really know me. I'm virtual. I'm not AI, but I'm a stranger to you, that you have really followed me and feel for me. And it's just awesome to think you've never met me, but you appreciate what I've tried to do and what I've accomplished. And that is absolutely awesome. Oh, and someone did say, don't forget to always put your PayPal up along the bottom. There we go. So if you can donate, I always say PayPal. That's only because it's the way I get the most of the money. If you want to donate a different way, then that's fine, if that's easier for you. But the way I get the most of what you donate is the PayPal. So that is the way to go. Let's go to the comments. Let's see. Steve there. I just said what a great moderator Steve is, and there he is, putting people's channels up. Jason's in the house, Ashley's Allotment Adventures. And guys, if you are able to donate, Ashley is doing a little fundraising for his mobility scooter. If you do have spare there, go and take a look at his channel. I think you have to go back a few videos for that, but there's something there. He did get his mobility scooter back, but a new one would be appreciated. So now, apart from making that lovely little bit of film, I've actually finally made some new quotes. So shall we go and have a look at the new quote corners? I've got new ones for each day of the week. And if I get my head together, we will look at Monday's new quote corner. Yes, and I'd like to switch that around as I was making that today. It should be that your friends are there. They don't have to be seen friends. They can just be YouTube friends, but you are there. You've all given me such good advice, and some people are just holding their hands out or their hearts out, just being there. And I really appreciate that. And I used to always say, hold hope in your heart. I've got to take my own advice back. It's no good dishing out the advice and then going to pieces when I can't see a solution. So Hedgehog's Homestead, thank you. Hi there, beautiful people. Steve and Tina, gardening and listening, keep you open. Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much. I know so many of you out there have been sharing my channel, which I appreciate. As I say, the only thing I can do is basically keep dishing out my films and my lives, posting, and I'm trying to get over that €70 that I need to get a payout. So those of you who are only able to share, that does make a big difference to my channel. I've got the 4K. As I said before, the last time I got paid was July last year. So I get like an annual payment and it's a little bit over €70. I just tip it over and then I wait about a year again. But I didn't look today. I didn't have time. I was doing some stuff for Blue. Blue wanted from me. But I was going to look just before my live. and see how much I'm up to. Last I looked, I think I said last week I was up to €53, €53 something for a payout, and I need 70. So we're getting there. We're getting there. So realise again the situation. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it's a couple of videos back now. And do look at that if you haven't seen it. I think everyone's been sharing that video out. It's more the fact it's time sensitive. We have no water, as in 0 water. We're just buying bottled water for everything we need water for. But obviously I can't water the garden with bottles of water. I have been doing what should we call it, measures to try and keep alive as much as possible without water. And I've inspired myself to, not now because it's very sad, but do a video about how to try and keep your garden alive in a drought. Now, I don't have a drought, I just have no water at all. So I wondered if maybe I was meant for this to happen to me, so I make this video how to survive a drought. I'm going to call it a drought, it just makes more sense, or no water, how to grow with no water, and all the concepts I'm doing, what I'm doing. And I think I'm going to make a video on that and then post that, and if that helps one person keep their crop alive in a drought, for example, then maybe this is why this is meant to happen. I always say things are meant to be. Steve saying, please remember to hit that like button. Yes, I do notice I get high views on lots of videos and shorts, but not many thumbs. And my lives, I have a whole host of people in my live chat sometimes, and then later on I'm like, oh, 2 likes. Okay. So yeah, hit that like. It really does make a difference, because if you put lots of comments and you do hit the thumbs up, you're probably sick of hearing people say it, but it does make a difference, because then YouTube thinks you're popular. So rather than just watch it, they don't know if you watch it and didn't enjoy it. I did have the other day, Ashley, if you're still on, I don't know if you guys have ever had it. Occasionally, and after you've watched a video, a black kind of tick box comes up and it says, how did you enjoy this video? And then you have to tick boxes. Was it informative? Was it enjoyable? And there's those sort of words. And I had one for Ashley the other day, something I was watching. I think it was one of your latest ones about just a general look round the allotment, I think it was. And of course I ticked everything. So yeah, that was helpful. Okay, so should we do a couple of shout outs? Let's do that. So let's do a couple of shout outs. And as my video said, I'm going randomly keep doing shout outs randomly in different lives. So just because I do a shout out doesn't mean there won't be another one later on in the live. And I'm going to try to get through as many channels as I can. But because we had that video today, I won't do too many today because I've got other things to share. So let's do this. And why is it called tambourine time? Well, if you've been a follower of my channel for a long time, you'll know that randomly I used to suddenly shake the tambourine and that would be a shout out, because I didn't used to have all these little intro clips. So it was, oh, shout outs coming. So the first shout out I'm going to do today, they don't have a channel, but again, another awesome follower of my channel. And she actually drops a comment in nearly every video and nearly every short. And that is our good friend, Della Smalley. So there's Della. So thank you, Della, for that. Really appreciate all that you've done for my channel. And see the chat lit up. That's Steve doing his work. So Steve's sharing channels out. Thank you so much for that, Steve. I don't know if you can do it, Steve, because I know you're quite new to doing these links. If you can put up the link to my sad video, I can't remember what I called it now, double disaster or two disasters in succession, something like that. If you could link that, that would be really helpful. And that is definitely the video I would quite like you all to share if possible. Okay, now we do spin the wheel, and we have a hamster, and we need to name that hamster. So let's do show you if I can find it, the spin the wheel. Let's spin the wheel, and we're looking for a name for the hamster, but I want a clever name. It's a boy hamster. It's a boy hamster, and look out for him at the end of this clip, and he needs a name. Oh, and he stopped. I see him on number 4. Maybe when he gets a name, I'll take him off the wheel and show you him in reality, maybe, if he's not too shy. So he stopped on number 4. And number 4, we are playing a game. And I thought it would be appropriate today to, let's say, how many things we can think of that link to being off grid. So I'm going to start you off with solar panels. How many things can you think that do that? Don't know how to do the video. That's fine. No problem. No problem at all. No problem at all. Yeah, so off-grid things. Because I do live off-grid. Off-grid means you have no services, no utilities. So all our electricity is from off-grid. So we have power from off-grid. We're not connected to the electric at all. So it's off-grid power. So when we turn on a light switch, some people get confused and think you can't push like a light switch or put in a plug. It's all powered by solar. So the solar panels create the power by bringing the sun and the light. It doesn't need to be sunny as long as it's light as well. So, and they convert into electric and power. Generator, yes. Blue just asked me to take a picture of my generator. It's not like the generators you see people have off grid. This is a great big fat machine. I think I put that in the sad video as well. So great big, huge, greasy looking, oily black thing. Huge it is, humongous. So we have a generator, but not like you think of a generator. Batteries, yes, batteries. Yes, batteries. There's different sorts of batteries. So you can have the more modern lightweight ones, or we've got the old ones because they're a lot cheaper, the old type. What else? Well, water. Our water comes up from the borehole, which is broken. So it comes up from the borehole, which is like a deep well, but it's only narrow pipes. Blue is asking for pictures of the borehole. There's nothing to see. There's not a hole like a well. There's a great big slab with like a metal T-bar almost. That's all that's on the top, is like a big cement slab, if you like. That's all you can see. And think of it, it's about that thick, and it comes up because it's linked to the top pipe, I guess, and it comes up along and down and joins to pipes. There's nothing to see there. It's not like a well. And the hole in the ground is probably about that big underneath. But as I say, you have to take off this metal bar and this metal T-bar thing. It's not really a T-bar. Staying away from the well. Oh, thanks. Look, I'm better today. I'm better today. As I always say, you have to laugh or you'll cry. So I'm done with that. What happens, happens. I think I got some motivation from the first donations. I did get asked a question. I said I'll talk about any questions people ask. My lovely friend, Texas Jan, she actually said, can you get wind pumps? No, we're not talking wind turbines, because I said to Mike, that's different, isn't it? Because we've looked at wind turbines before. Can't you get a wind pump? And you see them a lot in old American films. They look more like pylons with more kind of blades in a perfect circle, if you're not sure what the wind pumps are. And she said, could you maybe get that? Would that draw up the water? Because they use them a lot in America. And Mike can tell you all the ins and outs of why not. But basically, no, we're not a windy place. And as I said to her, you can go round, driving round here and see lots of old abandoned ones. And I never understood why there were so many old abandoned ones. But he said they did trail them here many years ago, and we don't have enough wind. We get the Coptic storms, but that's it. Windmill generator. Yes, I guess that's it. So if you want more clarification of any of these things, I'm not very technically minded. If you want Mike to explain, then I'm sure he will talk about that, or contact you directly. If you comment and say, can Mike explain more, then yes, because I don't want to sound like I'm dismissing anything or waffling away, but he said no, basically. And I did mention before, someone said, couldn't you use a solar power for the pump in the borehole? And no, it's 650 foot down, and the type of pump it wouldn't be powerful enough. Grow beds, yes, says Stephen Tina, and I would say particularly hugelkultur. And this is how I think some of my stuff's going to be saved, because it's so deep, it's got so much moisture and going on. I think anything that saves should be my raised beds and my hugelkultur beds, because I've got actual tree stumps in the bottom. I've got actual trees in the bottom, decaying trees in the very bottom. DJ's Venture and Beyond. Hi everyone, I'm new here to this chat. How's everyone doing this morning? Lovely to see you. And I always ask if you say how you found the channel. That will be really interesting. I'm sure someone sent you here, and let's say a good hello to you and everyone else. So we'll talk about all things off-grid. Anything you can think of off-grid, stick it in the comment and we'll talk about it. Look, there's our friend Steve, who has put in a link for you, DJ Adventures. So thank you for being here. So yes, we'll talk about hugelkultur beds. I've got huge trees, like the whole trunk of trees in the bottom. You want ones where bark's starting to come off and really old stumps or anything like that you want in the bottom. And I haven't dug down. A lot of people dig down. Yes, you can do that, but that's not the whole idea. When people talk about no dig, they all talk about a bit of cardboard and putting on top. That's great, but start your hoogles like that. Start your, as long as you don't mind, like, looks like graver, a graveyard when I first made all mine in a row. Well, have I got about 30 altogether? I'm guessing 25, 30, something like that. I found you through Eddie Lugo Studios in his morning live stream. Oh, cool. Didn't know about that. Was he talking about my channel? Oh, that's absolutely cool. Thank you for letting me know. Yeah, so as long as you don't mind a big hump, and it will eventually go down. So just because you build it, it's up here. If you look at, one of my first videos, not very, very first, but up a few, I did a whole video showing in time lapse how I make my hugel beds. And they end up like a big mound you have to get on, but in no time at all, less than a year, they really squish right down in less than a year. I was on Mike and Rihanna yesterday and Eddie was there. Cool. Are people talking about my channel? This is cool. Very interesting. If any of you do know that anyone mentions me, can you let me know? Because if they don't do the @ and my channel name, I don't get to see it. It's like Gypsy and the Vanilla Gorilla shared my video and Blue shared my video. Now, because they didn't put @ my channel name, I wouldn't have known that if I hadn't have gone on and seen it on their channel. So I like to thank people if they talk about my channel. So if any of you know of anyone who talks about my channel, can you please tell me, because I'd really like to thank them personally. Thank them on my behalf, but I would really like to go and thank them personally, and of course give shout outs. Yes, hugel culture, I normally do a big tree stump or something like that first. Big stuff, but I would, because if you're then putting lots of big branches, although you want some air gaps, you don't need as much as you do with compost. So I would then put leaves and things like that down, fill the in-betweeny bits, old cardboard. If you're making a really tall first time hugel bed, it's good to damp everything down in between. So instead of making a compost area, make a hugel bed. That's technically what a compost is, but with bigger stuff for a hugel bed. So forget the compost. I rarely now put stuff on my compost area. I just make hugel areas. So I've got compost that I do. If I cut grass now, I tend to put that straight on different hugel beds. Obviously not piled up because you want it to break down quickly. But as I say, I've got so many hugel culture beds that I just spread the grass out over all of them. Same if I'm cutting down a branch from a tree, I will just take all the leaves off and cut it down, just spread it over all the different hugel beds. So I do think that is my main grace of hopefully saving a lot of my stuff. As you know, some stuff I grew in my bottle farm. If you've seen my bottle farm, that didn't need a lot of water when I was on my very last lot of water. That didn't need much water in each one to keep a big amount alive. So that's a possibility of keeping those alive. And my cat food bags, I grow a lot of stuff in cat food bags. And again, that doesn't need much water. So I was trying to save new seeds and new plants that were just coming out. So we'll see where we go on that. We'll definitely see. Okay, let's do, let me see. Let's do this. Tambourine time. So the shout out now will go to the channel Two Doves, Bees and Gardens. So do go and check them out. Two Doves, Bees and Gardens. Watch out for more shout outs coming in this live. Stay tuned. Okay, let's go on to, we need a bit of an uplift. Let's do this. Okay, this is quite a funny one. I like this one. It's quite a funny one. As you will know, the crofters on the west coast of Scotland do a certain amount of fishing in between times. Some years ago, a certain crofter found that he had caught in his net a young octopus. The creature flopped about awkwardly as the net was drawn in, causing the crofter to laugh. He decided he would take the octopus home, where his wife and family found the creature equally amusing. They decided to keep him as a pet. Inadvertently, they found that with his 8 arms, he could do a lot of things about the house, making himself useful in all kinds of household chores, so the family reckoned they were lucky to have him. One Sunday evening, the crofter, feeling at peace with the world and thinking that a little music would be nice, got down the bagpipes and commenced to play. After a while, the octopus shuffled across and began to finger the bagpipes. The crofter, his curiosity roused, gave the bagpipes over to the octopus, who sat himself in a corner and proceeded to experiment with the new toy. After a while, he seemed to get the hang of the instrument and was producing what could pass for pipe music, when suddenly he groaned and then proceeded to shriek as though in pain. The crofter and his wife went over to see what was wrong, and to their infinite surprise, they found that instead of the octopus playing the bagpipes were now playing the octopus. Did you like that? That was a bit of fun for sure. Take that as you will. Oh, okay, let's go on to this. So what have we got today? What knacks, hacks, facts and stats do we have? Today we're going to talk about painting. We're going to talk about painting. Anyone doing painting at the moment? Got to go. That's fine. Oh, shared you out. Thank you so much. Lovely to see you. Lovely to see you. So, knacks and hacks of painting. I have 4 for you today. The first one. To remove mould or algae on an outside wall, scrape it away with an old knife. Then wipe the wall with a solution of equal parts bleach and water and repeat the next day. Stephen Teen's connected with Hedgehog Homestead. I've been a follower of theirs for a long time, long time. The second tip. Even in dry weather, avoid outdoor painting in early morning or evening if there's a likelihood of dew or mist. Any moisture on wood can cause blistering of the paint later. Yes, a lot of people blame poor quality paint, but it's blistered because of that. The next one. Always buy good quality paint brushes because cheap ones shed hairs. Oh, haven't we all found that? How annoying is that when you get a hair? Soak a new brush in linseed oil for 24 hours before using it for the first time. It will last longer and be easier to clean. Did you know that? And the last one. If a paintbrush has gone slightly hard, soften it by boiling it in vinegar for 10 minutes. When the bristles are really hard, soak the brush in cellulose thinners in a glass jar overnight and then rinse well. Good tip, says Steve. I do try and find things. Sometimes I find the easy tips people have forgotten about. So I like to think I do a good mixture for you of new tips and forgotten tips, let's call them. Forgotten tips. Okay, let's do this. Tambourine time. Let's do a shout out for Yogi Hollow Farm. Do go and look there. And as I said to her today, I always come and look at Norman when I'm feeling down. Who's Norman, Dawn? Normal. Dawn's not normal. Norman is one of several pigs she has. So do go and have a look at Norman. Do go look at Norman. He's a cutie. He really is. So if you like pigs, that's the channel for you to look at, Yogi Hollow Farm. Okay, let's go on to this. So we're looking at my bird book currently, and today we are on the page of blackbird. I'm sure you all know blackbirds. Did you know blackbird is part of the thrush family? Yes. Its length is 25 centimetres, which is 10 inches. And it says, although originally a bird of woodlands, the blackbird has become a successful garden bird because of its wide diet. The glossy black male with its bright yellow bill and eye ring is a familiar figure in the garden, but the colours of the female and young birds may cause some confusion. By learning to identify the sex and age of blackbirds, you could make more sense of events in the garden. Pair information may start in the autumn before the nesting season, and you will often see territorial disputes in which birds chase and attempt to fly up above one another. The voice. The song consists of a couple of 2-second phrases, often ending with a chuckle and sometimes interspersed with snatches of other bird song as well as human whistles. You're most likely to hear the song of young males setting up their territories in February. It decreases after the eggs have been laid. A quiet sub-song is heard in the autumn. Several are heard for different situations, ranging from a subdued pook-pook when uneasy to a hysterical rattling when put to flight. And it says, aggressive display. A blackbird threatens intruders away from its half-eaten apple with an aggressive open beak display. And that is there. There he is. And there's the blackbirds. And there's the blackbird with his big yellow beak and the ring round its eye. And it says the adult male has familiar glossy black plumage. The juvenile male, a young male, gorges himself on berries. The juvenile male has a dull plumage with brownish blue, especially on the wings. a dark bill and no eye-ring until his first winter. White birds. Blackbirds sometimes have a few white feathers. The adult female is dark brown, paler underneath with faint spots and streaks. She has a pale eye ring and a dark bill. Feeding. Fruit and berries, including honeysuckle and barberry, are eaten in the later half of the year, while earthworms, insects, and other small animals are taken in spring and autumn. Caterpillars are also an important food in summer, but as these are often rare in gardens, young are fed more on worms and adult insects. When hunting on a lawn, a blackbird cocks its head to one side before hopping forward to seize a worm from its burrow. It is not known whether the head posture helps the bird listen or look for earthworms. The latter is believed to be more likely. Blackbirds catch tadpoles from fish ponds and fish, and steal food from other birds such as large snails from the song thrush. Rummaging for food. When foraging, one foot is raked backwards through the dead leaves or loose soil as the bill flicks for food. And there's a picture of that happening here. And there's the eggs. So we'll talk about the nesting. The female builds a solid nest, usually in a shrub or hedge. Dry vegetation, which the male may help her collect, is reinforced with mud. The male sometimes stands guard over the eggs when the female is away feeding. The family is divided after fledging, and each parent feeds particular youngsters. Ooh, favouritism. But the male may look after the whole family if the female has a new clutch to incubate. Nest box can be a large bird shelf. Leaf-lined nest, lining of dead leaves or usually fine grasses distinguishes the blackbird nest from that of the song thrush. Nesting information, March to June. 3 to 5 broods. 3 to 5 brown freckled greenish blue eggs. 13 days incubation, female. 13 to 14 days fledging, and 3 weeks until independent. So I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope you're learning something about birds, maybe even birds you know. Maybe you've learned something new about them that you didn't know. So let me know how you liked that. Okay, let's go on to this. So I've been not able to do a lot, and I haven't been right, and that's nothing to do with the situation. I've had issues, my brain issues. I couldn't do too much yesterday, so I thought I would do something I keep meaning to do, but I had to just sit. So I had this box. I think I've shown it to you before, and it had like fridge magnets in, but they spell words. They are words. They don't spell words. They are words. And you put them together and make sentences. And I did a really fun one on my fridge for a long time. It's been sitting there. And I put food through here. And I put it on the fridge door. So what I did yesterday is got them all out, because if they're in that tub, you won't use them. So I thought I would sit and I'd put them on my small whiteboard, which is magnetic, and just sort them out. Just sort them out. So as you can see, they're sorted. I don't know how well you can see that because I can't see the screen now. But that's sorted. I've put kind of adjectives together, verbs together, all the who, what, where, when, whys together. They give you like letter endings, word endings. I put those together, and I, you, me, them, us. Sounds like something else, all that, doesn't it? If you're from this generation, yeah, that means something else entirely now. So I've done that. They're not going to stay on here as much as you'd think that would be quite good, because I use this all the time. This is almost like my note board, like must do tomorrow, and it's my brain. So I use this a lot. Or if I'm testing myself, I do learn languages. If I'm testing myself on that, I'll write on here. It's my basically, I don't leave anything on here. I'll write something to do or do tomorrow or that kind of thing. So it gets rubbed off. It makes me do it because I need the board for other things. And I've yet again changed the board here. It used to be, it's much bigger than this. It's more than three times the size of this board. I'll have to do a picture of it and show you. And it was always that way up, because this way I've got a light ring, which is quite obvious here behind my laptop, and it blocks out that much of the board as in to write on. But the way I've done it, I've got what videos I need to make it next, as in I might have footage, but they need editing. And then I've got now my live today, Monday, Wednesday, Friday lives. And if I suddenly think of something during the week, oh, I want to share that or save that, I'm now writing those in. But I want to show you that because that's dead pretty, the way I've done it. I've got these sort of letters on here, these letters, and I've got them just briefly heading NB for new beginnings, TRAN for tranquility, ED for my everything dance channel, and then I've got the word edit, got the word film, and then I've got here Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and as I say, they're for my lives. And if I quickly want to share something, then I'll put that there. So I've got another one of those boards, which is down on the floor there in front of this curtain, because if you remember last year when I made this curtain, it's fine until I put the fan on and then it all blows everywhere. I tried putting fishing wire across, which holds it to a certain extent, but it still flies about a bit. So I've got that board. I can write on it, the bit behind me, for whatever I need it for. But I thought I could stick these on there when I'm not using them. I've also got these ones. I haven't opened these yet. It says love signs magnetic. Let's see what these ones are. What's it say? When words just aren't enough. Oh, look, like this. Like, I love you. Do you see that? I love you. It says, with the magnetic love signs kit, you'll never again have to search awkwardly for the right words in a romantic situation. Sounds like I'll be leaving these for Mike. The 50 included magnets are printed with clever full colour images that will help you let that special someone know how you feel without having to say a word. Plus, for the romantically challenged, the 32-page book contains thoughtful and tender sample phrases and a glossary to aid you into creating your own romantic notions. Ooh, do you want to see what these ones are? Where are we? Steve said, not seeing a blackbird here. Oh, are they not common there? Busy board, yeah. As I said, I don't want to leave them on here, so I think I might sit maybe tonight, maybe move them to the other board, because I'm not going to use things in a box. Oh, look, the little booklet. Let's see. Let's get some. Oh, it's very small print. Right, all right. First one. Oh, it's all about it. Talk, talk, talk. That's all we ever hear these days. Talking isn't necessarily bad, but between commercials blaring from radios and televisions, bosses nagging, kids screaming, people jabbering on cell phones, and the rest of life, sometimes it's nice to get away from the jumble of spoken communication. It's fine to babble and prattle your way through life's lesser demands. But when it comes to expressing your love, why not try something a little more subtle? So what can you do? Simplify, simplify, simplify. Now look, and it's just a kiss sign. A picture is worth 1,000 words. It is possible to have all the meaning and more contained within this image without all the words you could use to describe it verbally. Just show what you mean and mean what you show. Or someone like sheep. Oh, that's good. That's funny, Steve. Blurting out whatever happens to trip across your tongue is not always or the wisest to woo the object of your desire, and until now heartfelt images haven't been readily available as words. Magnetic love signs to the rescue. So, armed with these little individual pieces of magnetism attraction, they are loaded with countless words packed into a single image. You are ready to navigate the treacherous complexities of love. But first, we're here to help you get started. Remember, you're replacing a word with a picture that sounds like or symbolizes that word. Now look at this illustration. Sorry, it takes a minute, I know, to focus. So it's an I. I. What is it? An I. What could it represent? The personal pronoun, I. Simple enough, right? You're already on your way to expressing your intimate feelings. I. What? What's the next word, guys? I. What? And you didn't even utter a sound. What you just solved was a rebus. If you want to get technical, Merriam-Webster Dictionary defines a rebus as a representation of words or syllables by pictures or objects or by symbols whose names resemble the intended words or syllables in sound. Also, a riddle made up of such pictures or symbols, like we said. Now, try constructing a complete sentence with rebuses. Try this one. Here we go. We had this one. So, yeah, I love sheep, as Steve said. I love sheep. Oh, dear. If saying those three little words is so simple, I love sheep, why would you need a rebus to say them, especially one on miniature magnets? Have you ever become tongue-tied at the mere thought of telling someone you love him or her? Do you squirm just thinking of saying lovey-dovey, mushy things to your girlfriend or boyfriend? Are you just the thesis of smooth? We all know that expressing our feelings, let alone saying I love you, is anything but easy. Everyone can attest to the fact that communication, especially of those difficult but absolutely necessary romantic sentiments, can be the bane of any relationship's existence. But if you can't say what you mean to the one person who really matters when it really counts, you're in trouble. As if that wasn't a big enough predicament, it sure doesn't help that people you care most about tend to trigger the most explosive and passionate outbursts of feelings. In these cases, you often end up sounding as incoherent as a tourist asking for directions in a foreign language who finds out later he was using the wrong dictionary. Just as bad, you want to say something to that special someone, but you realise all you are packing blanks and you can't think of a single thing to say, or perhaps saying those kind of things just isn't you, since you don't operate on the same lovey-dovey wavelength as sensitive types. Even if you're comfortable sharing your feelings, maybe you know that serious romantic talk makes your significant other a little squeamish. No matter what your issue is, you don't want to blow the real deal because that special someone thinks you're emotionally constipated. I'm stuck on you. Rebuses, or love signs as we're going to call them for our purpose, especially magnetic ones, are simply better than words in delicate romantic situations. Plain old poetry on magnets is so limiting because while a single word has only one meaning, one image can say a number of things simultaneously. So there's one. Paradise. Paradise. Oh, paradise. 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 Oh. For all these reasons and countless more, this is a pocket-sized remedy for your woes. All you need is half a brain, I have that, some tried and true feelings for your special someone, and let's not forget a metal surface. Magnetic Love Signs offers you the chance to sidestep the minefield of attraction and forge ahead in the land of love. Now you know magnetic love signs will serve you well. You need to know how, when, and what of using them. To prove that using love signs will be an easy and effective romantic aid, it's important to note that picture-based rebuses are often used as an educational tool for children. Using basic nursery rhymes and riddles and replacing keywords with pictures promotes critical thinking, helps develop memory, and facilitates learning to read. If you have any qualms that this whole thing sounds too complicated or it was going to be too much work, stop worrying. Even a 4-year-old can do this, literally. The purpose of the kit is, well, to have fun with romance, but also to make it easier to be romantic. So, of course, we won't do anything to make expressing your feelings, whether playful or serious, any more challenging. And if for some reason it's still too hard, maybe you're not a visual person. There's a glossary in the back to help decipher the symbols. The most important rule is making effective use of the kit as simple as actually using it. A million pictures and sentiments are useless if not expressed. It does you no good to leave the magnets lying dormant in a box, did I say? Especially when they could be shining forth affectionate messages from your refrigerator or other magnetic surface. You're certainly never going to get that guy or girl if you don't even try. Likewise, you may even lose the one you have. Even if the love signs do end up being displayed, having them sit idle on your cluttered fridge will not help matters. They must be useful and frequently. They won't move themselves, you know, so you need to keep moving them and changing them. These symbols can be a powerful force when wielded properly. You don't want to risk an arrangement of symbols being misinterpreted, Steve. It must also be remembered that this kit was designed to help open lines of communication and should not be used for slander, accusations, or guilt trips. Malice will only serve to complicate matters, therefore defeating the purpose of this kit. So how to use them? The magnetic part is simple. Put the black magnetic side on the fridge, and due to any inexplicable powers of physics, they stick. Next, move them around, put them together, take them apart, and form different meanings. There's a bit more to do than this, though. For example, let's go to the picture of the eye from the intro. It can, but not be limited to, represent the word I. Maybe you would interpret the I word as see. The meaning are open, and the special relationships and understanding will have built or would like to be built with your loved one. Creativity is appealing, so use your imagination. If you're in desperate need of a quick dose of inspiration, flip to the glossary at the back. Timing is everything. Now you know how to use them, you should also know when to use them. As I mentioned, love attraction can get tricky. Our mission is to simplify your love life, so there's a hint. There's a proper rebus for any stage of a relationship. For practical purposes, the following examples will feature a relationship involving a frustrated, emotional, complex female and an oblivious, emotionally dense male. These aren't stereotypes. just the handiest and most common scenarios. Compromise is a huge part of being in a relationship. Magnetic love signs will facilitate the process of finding common ground between a man and a woman. For example, using rebuses will force the woman to streamline her thoughts and nudge the man to a higher, more romantic level of thought and expression. At some point, the majority of all relationships fall into one of the following three categories. During these times, using love signs to convey your feelings is a perfect way to jumpstart a relationship. Every relationship has to start somewhere, and more likely than that, is going to have its fair share of awkward moments. For example, if you are the somewhat clueless male, a bold, I think you are hot, could show you are capable of being straightforward about your feelings. If you're over-analytical female, boiling down the complicated thought process to "you're sweet" could speak volumes. Fledgling romances sometimes need a little boost. This could be the thing to tip you in the favour. So I'm going to leave that there. It does go on quite a bit more. For a little book, it's actually got a lot in there. So maybe I'll clear this little board off, put it on my big board. Maybe every now and then I'll show you on the little board a little phrase, maybe. Maybe I'll give you some words. If you take a look, maybe you could come up with some ideas yourself. And your character should show through whether you make something funny or something serious or even thought-provoking. So as I say, the top one, food through here, that's what I always did on my fridge for a while. And then maybe I'll clear this off and get out next time the ones from the love magnets, and we can take a look at those. Hey, Two Dove Bees and Gardens, I've given you a shout out in today's live. You'll have to play back later and see that you got a shout out in my live. I wonder if you can find it. Well, it's over the hour. As I say, happier days, still issues, same issues. But if you can't do anything, you can't do anything. What's the point of going into oblivion with that one? So please share out the video that I posted previously. Happy face there from Two Doves. That seems to happen a lot. When I give someone a shout out, it's like there is a burning, as we say, and they come on. Yes. So yes, do share out my video of my I can't remember what it was called, double disaster. That two things happened at once or something, whatever it was called. Do share that. And I'm going to finish here for today. Steve's put up a link to Two Doves' channel. If someone new's popped up on the chat today, do go and check them out. And as I say, don't worry if you're listening back to this later, if the chat's not there, which I think it doesn't always stay there, I don't know. If you can't get the links that Steve's kindly put up, then just listen to the channel name, as I say, each channel as they come in, and you can type their channel in to YouTube and their channel should come up. So that's an easy way. So as I say, I'm going to finish there today. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for all your support. Special thank you to those who have already donated. I really can't get over that. That's absolutely awesome. And thank you for those sharing out my plight. So I will see you next time. Hope your day is better than mine. If it's not, big hugs, big love. And do reach out and let's keep this community going. Thanks for the 4K. See you next time.